This is just an overview of the engineering change control module. It sits within the bill of materials. So you've got the ECC module. But if you go into the structure and routings program, it just allows us to, well, let's just start with a fairly straightforward mechanical bull on a bicycle. You've got your operations and components, and you've got the multi-level in that, and you can obviously then go and maintain components and quantity pairs and all the details required to define the structure. If I go and put up an item that is controlled by the engineering change control module, and we switch this on at the inventory master level, we can still go into the maintenance program, and I can see a history of all the prior revisions of this particular component, and I can see the engineering change orders that have resulted in revision changes. So if I go and look at the current revision, it's revision 4, I can then see the structure of this particular product under that revision, and I can make no changes to this revision. The ability to change the configuration of the product is now controlled outside of the bill of materials program. That's controlled in the engineering change control program. And this can be set at components in any level of the bill of material. So the handlebar assembly, for example, here, might not be under engineering change control, and then I have the ability to change that. So if I just go across and look at a typical engineering change order, I can then go in and specify a workflow for this change process. So if I take a prior engineering change order, we can then see all the notes regarding the change order, all the parts or assemblies or sub-assemblies or components that form part of that change order request. You can see any notes that were made, but more importantly, there's an entire workflow around activity history of what's happened with this change request, and the workflow has been configured to put it through a revision committee, and once it's gone through and accepted by the revision committee, it goes to engineering, and engineering then are able to manipulate the bill of materials. And in that process, we would like to lock down all the affected items from a jobbing, a purchasing, and a sales point of view. That we then effectively put those items on hold until the design changes have been effected, which makes it a very powerful, gives very powerful capabilities in the system to control this phase of something being under revision review. So if I now go and look and execute on an existing change order, I can then pick up an existing change order, and I'm logged in here as someone in the review or review committee, and the review committee then has 2 outstanding change order actions, and they need to review the request for the change order, and they can either accept or maintain that engineering change order. But if I simply go and respond here, and I accept that this item does need to be changed, then it then moves it into the engineering phase, so that the engineering phase, then in the engineering phase, you can then, on this very same product, I now have the ability to maintain a proposed structure, whereas previously I could only view an existing structure. So now I can maintain the proposed structure and make the changes in how I see fit. I can, in this case, remove the stainless steel nuts that we had there, and we delete those off the configuration, and I can change in the same way of control over the operational process as well as the components. And if I then just take a little shortcut here and go in as someone in engineering, I can see that engineering change order is now waiting for me to mark it as complete, in that I've completed the engineering changes. But if I go and look at that engineering change order, you'll be able to see the actions that have taken place so far. There's the action, which is the design and prototype sitting with engineering. It's being executed on, but not complete yet. And I can see my activity history here of the fact that I've locked down my stock and for jobs and purchasing and sales, but I've enabled the structure and routing maintenance. So it gives me a nice process flow, and this is user defined, so you can define the workflow that gets used, and who needs to be involved. It can be round robin type changes, and it gives you a very nice handle on the kind of workflow controls, as it were. And if I go and look at those controls very quickly, they look something like this. We term them as status codes. So you have status codes that you can set up for the different kind of status events that you want to put this thing through. So, if I go and look at the design status flow, then we can be specific that when we get to design, who's the user that actions this? Do I want to lock anything or release anything? What is the next status that is going to be released on the completion of this one? The event details. Do I need to send out email notifications? So it gives us, very, very nice control over this. And what are my outcomes on this? Is it a yes, no? Do I need to round robin this between multiple users? And do I need to respond to a specific question in this regard? So and if I look at the list of events that can be added onto this, it's quite an extensive beg your pardon, list of events. So if I just go into that. And I can then just, add as many of these events as I like, assign them to whichever users I want, give them the appropriate amount of time to respond to these events. So a nice bit of control. Okay, so that's really the ability of engineering change control to enhance bills of material and to give us control in the changing of any configuration in the standard bills of material. Thanks very much.